Do you know that feeling when you're constantly trying to move forward but life keeps pushing you back? You set good intentions, but they never seem to really take off. Lucas, the main character of this story, was exactly in that spot. He got more and more tangled up in procrastination and felt completely stuck in his own life. But then he discovered 3 simple yet powerful principles that completely turned his life around. It's all about taking small steps, cleverly linking habits to things you already do, and boosting motivation by celebrating small wins. This story shows you how even the biggest problems can be solved by starting small. Want to know how Lucas flipped his life upside down? Listen closely, because this is a story you won't want to miss. And at the end of this story, we'll dive into how you can apply these principles in your own life, how you can make small changes that will lead to a huge difference and make your life so much better. So stick around. This could be the beginning of your own transformation. Lucas always felt like he had everything under control. He was that person others admired, always busy, always productive. But recently, things were different. The days felt heavier, and the tasks he used to breeze through now felt like mountains he had to climb. His to-do lists grew longer, while his motivation slowly melted away, like snow in the sun. Each morning, he started with the best of intentions. Today, he thought, today will be different. But before he knew it, he was back on the couch, staring at the ceiling, another unread work email sitting in his inbox. The silence in his apartment was almost deafening. His coffee, which used to smell so familiar and energizing, now sat cold beside him. Even its strong aroma couldn't lift him anymore. What had happened? The problem? An endless loop of procrastination. It was as if every task had become an impossible mountain to climb. Every time he tried to start something, it felt like he was hitting an invisible wall. Lucas knew something had to change, but how? The thought alone made him tired. His friends started seeing less of him. His evenings, once filled with laughter and dinners with friends, had turned into quiet, lonely nights. He was too exhausted to get out, too distracted to get anything done. Even his work began to suffer. Lucas, once the office star, was now turning in work far below his usual standard. His boss had noticed, and that added only more pressure. It was a vicious cycle, and every day seemed to get worse. One evening, sitting in the half-darkness of his living room, he stumbled across an article about a book that could change his life. Tiny Habits by B.J. Fogg. It seemed almost too good to be true, that small habits could create such a big change. But honestly, Lucas had nothing left to lose. He tried everything else, so he started reading. The first thing that struck him was that small habits lead to big changes. Lucas realized that he had been expecting way too much from himself. No wonder things kept falling apart. Instead of trying to solve all his problems at once, he decided to start small. Something so simple, it was almost laughable. Every morning, after brushing his teeth, he would tidy his desk. That was it. No marathon runs, no endless productivity plans, just tidying his desk. The second principle that caught his attention was linking new habits to existing routines. He discovered that it's much easier to build new habits when you attach them to things you already do. After brushing his teeth, he would tidy his desk. Then after every meal, he'd drink a glass of water. After lunch, he'd take a short walk around the block. just around the block. Simple things that made his life feel less overwhelming. The third insight, and maybe the most transformative for Lucas, was celebrating small wins. Every time he tidied his desk, he would pause for a moment and smile to himself. Not because tidying a desk was some huge achievement, but because he knew that every small step was contributing to something bigger. He began to cherish those moments, a quick nod to himself in the mirror, a little pat on the back. It seemed silly, but it brought back a sense of pride he hadn't felt in a long time. Slowly, almost without realizing it, Lucas started to regain control over his life. His desk stayed tidy, his work became more manageable, and he felt more energized. The small habits he had built created a snowball effect in his life. His boss started noticing the improvements in his work, and he found himself with the time and energy to reconnect with his friends. Now that we've heard Lucas' story, it's time to see how you can use these same principles to change your own life. Just like Lucas, you don't need to make giant leaps or turn your life upside down. The power lies in small, manageable steps that you can apply to any part of your life, whether it's your health, your work, your relationships, or anything else you want to improve. Let's dive a little deeper into those 3 steps and help you start using them. Step 1. Start with small habits. Don't try to make huge changes all at once. Think of something small that you can start doing today. Something so simple that it almost feels impossible not to do it. Maybe you want to eat healthier. Start with just 1 piece of fruit a day. Want to be more productive? Write down 1 task every morning that you'll complete that day. Small habits are much easier to stick with, and over time, they lead to big changes. Link these new habits to existing routines. Make it easy on yourself by connecting your new habit to something you already do every day. If you drink coffee every morning, add your new habit right after. For example, drink a glass of water after your coffee. Or do a short breathing exercise after brushing your teeth. By linking new habits to existing routines, you make them a natural part of your day. Step 3. Celebrate your small wins. This might be just the most fun step. Every time you complete your new habit, take a moment to recognize that little success and celebrate it. It can be as simple as smiling to yourself, giving yourself a compliment, or doing something small to reward yourself. Celebrating these small wins keeps you motivated and makes it easier to push through, even on tough days. So, those 3 steps, starting small, linking habits to existing routines, and celebrating your wins, can help you improve almost any part of your life. Think about 1 thing you'd like to change and how you can start today by taking just 1 small, simple step. This method works for everyone, especially for those who feel stuck and don't know where to begin. Start small, and you'll be amazed at the results. I hope this story has inspired you and that you've taken something from it for yourself. If you would like to hear more stories like this one and continue growing with me, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. It means a lot to me and it helps me reach even more people. Thank you so much.